At the beginning of this story, it is shown that a flying object passes near Earth. One part of it heads toward Earth, while the other disappears somewhere into space. Then the story shifts to a military camp. This is an elite military camp where soldiers are being briefed. There is an officer named Dutch, and he works independently with his team. In this movie, Dutch's team is introduced. A man named Dillon tells Dutch that a cabinet minister and his team have gone missing somewhere. He shows Dutch the location, and Dutch notices that the location is across the border. Dutch sarcastically says that their ministers always seem to wander across the border. Dillon replies that they must have gotten lost and are now in the hands of guerrillas fighters who oppose the army. Dutch says that they should send the Green Berets instead, asking why his team has been called. Suddenly, a voice from behind says, "Because I still consider you the best, even if you're crazy." When Dutch turns around, he sees his old friend and former colleague, Dillon, sitting there. The two greet each other warmly. Dillon explains that it's only a one-day mission. They just need to cross the border, rescue the hostages, and return. Dutch asks, "What do you mean by we?" Dillon replies, "I'm coming with you soon." The whole team is dropped into the target location, deep inside a dense jungle across the border where they must rescue the captives. As they move forward, they discover a crashed military helicopter hanging between the trees. When they investigate it, they realize it is not a regular transport helicopter but a reconnaissance chopper. The two pilots inside have been shot in the head and killed. They also learn that 12 guerrillas came through the area and kidnapped two people. After examining the area, one of the trackers notices footprints belonging to American soldiers. Dutch orders a deeper investigation. As they search further, they discover 3 skinned corpses hanging upside down from a tree. Their bodies have been completely stripped of flesh. Dutch pulls Dillon aside and says it looks like some kind of secret operation took place there. Dillon claims he knows nothing about it. After seeing the horrifying scene, the whole team becomes furious because the victims were brutally murdered. Determined to take revenge, they continue deeper into the jungle. As they move forward, it feels as though something in the trees is watching them. Whenever this point of view is shown, the screen turns blue, indicating that whoever is observing them sees in thermal vision. Eventually, the team reaches the guerrilla camp where the hostages are supposedly being held. There are many armed enemies there. While observing through binoculars, Dutch sees one of the hostages suddenly being executed. Immediately, the team launches a massive attack. They kill nearly everyone in the camp, but capture one woman alive because Dutch refuses to kill her. Her name is Anna. After the battle, Dutch discovers that the story about the cabinet minister was a lie. This makes him furious because he never wanted to participate in missions that cost innocent lives. Dillon then admits that the crashed helicopter belonged to their own men, and another rescue team sent after them also disappeared. However, they recover important documents, weapons, and ammunition from the camp before leaving with Anna as their prisoner. As they continue through the jungle, one team member named Billy suddenly stops walking. Billy is the tracker guiding the group. He stares nervously into the trees. Everyone immediately becomes alert. Dutch approaches Billy and asks what's wrong. Billy replies that something is out there in the jungle. And he is right, something truly is there. The team cannot see it, but it can clearly see them. While everyone is distracted, Anna attempts to escape. One of the soldiers chases after her and catches her. But just then, an invisible creature suddenly appears and kills one of the team members, dragging the body away into the jungle. The soldiers rush to the scene and find only the skinned remains of their teammate. Billy asks what is happening here. When they question Anna, she simply says, "The jungle came alive." Anna herself never saw the creature clearly because it was invisible. Dutch insists on retrieving his teammate's body. So the group heads back toward the area where they had earlier found the hanging corpses. As they move through the jungle, one soldier hears movement in the bushes. He carefully looks toward the sound, but it turns out to be a small animal. Suddenly, the invisible creature attacks him. It fires a weapon from a distance that blasts a hole through his chest, instantly killing him. The sound alerts another soldier nearby, who briefly sees the creature perched in a tree. At first, he only notices its glowing eyes. He immediately opens fire. Hearing the gunshots, the rest of the team rushes over and unloads all their weapons into the jungle. After the shooting stops, they ask the soldier what he saw. He replies, "I don't know." I just saw a blurry figure with glowing eyes. And then it disappeared. Meanwhile, the movie finally shows the creature clearly for the first time. It presses a device on its arm, turning invisible again. Then it removes a medical tool and painfully extracts the bullet from its wound. Its terrifying roar echoes throughout the jungle. Dutch and his men then set up traps all around their camp. They place explosives and tripwires everywhere so that if the creature approaches, it will trigger a blast. The next morning, they discover that their dead teammate's body has been stolen. Dutch realizes that whatever the creature is, it travels through the trees above them. The team starts placing traps and snares everywhere on the ground and in the trees. Dillon asks Dutch how he knows the creature will come that way. Dutch replies that there is only one path through the jungle leading toward them. After setting all the traps, everyone waits silently, but nothing happens for a long time. Eventually, Dutch carefully walks toward the center of the trap area. Suddenly, one of the traps springs upward with a loud noise, and the creature is caught in it. The team immediately throws fuel onto it and sets it on fire. But the creature quickly frees itself from the trap and leaps into the trees. Everyone opens fire at it. For a brief moment, the creature becomes visible. The creature briefly reveals its true form to the team before escaping into the jungle. During the attack, another one of the soldiers gets injured. As the strange being runs away, one of the men chases after it because one of the two people the creature killed was his close friend. He heads deep into the jungle alone and tells the others to take care of the wounded man while he goes after the creature. Dutch tries to stop him, but the soldier insists. Then Dillon says, "Take the others and leave. I'll go help him." Dillon heads into the jungle to find the men. While searching through the jungle, Dillon suddenly hears someone whisper, "Get down." It turns out to be the soldier who was chasing the creature. He points toward a tree where the creature is sitting, and both of them spot it. The soldier tells Dillon to stay where he is while he goes to kill the creature. But as he approaches it, the creature notices him and instantly kills him with a shot to the head. Now Dillon is left alone. Meanwhile, Dutch and the remaining 3 members of the team are crossing a bridge made from a fallen tree. Suddenly, they hear Dillon scream, and they realize he has also been killed. At this point, 4 members of the team are dead. Only 4 are left: to Dutch, Anna, the wounded soldier, and Billy, the tracker. Billy suddenly stops walking. He tells the others to leave without him, then walks alone into the jungle. But the creature kills him as well. Now only 3 people remain. As they continue moving, the creature appears on a tree behind them and fires a laser weapon, killing the wounded soldier. Dutch immediately starts shooting at the creature, but it fires another blast that hits his shoulder, causing him to drop his weapon. Anna tells Dutch to run, and she escapes from the area. Dutch begins running through the jungle. While fleeing, he falls off a cliff into a deep river. He barely manages to crawl to the shore, completely covered in mud. The movie then shows the creature jumping into the water and continuing to hunt him. Dutch hides beneath massive tree roots. The creature climbs out of the water. It is huge, muscular, and incredibly powerful. It slowly walks right past Dutch but somehow cannot see him. The reason is that Dutch's body is completely covered in mud. The creature sees using thermal vision, detecting body heat and energy. Since the mud cools Dutch's body temperature, the creature cannot detect him. Dutch realizes this and understands that the mud is hiding his heat signature. He decides that now he can fight back. Dutch begins setting traps everywhere, using explosives and materials around him. He creates different kinds of weapons to kill the creature. After preparing everything, he climbs onto a platform and screams loudly while holding a burning torch. At the same time, the creature is shown sitting high in the trees. Hearing Dutch's shout, it leaps from tree to tree toward him. But when it arrives, it cannot see Dutch because he is still covered in mud. However, Dutch can see the creature clearly. The entire situation has now reversed. Dutch can see the creature, but the creature cannot see Dutch. Dutch launches several attacks, badly injuring the alien. At one point, he notices the creature's glowing blood flowing between rocks and realizes that it is not below him, it is above him. He fires an arrow at it, causing the creature to flee again. The alien chases Dutch and fires lasers at him. Dutch makes a huge jump and grabs onto a vine, but it breaks, sending him crashing into the water again. Now the mud covering his body washes away, and the creature can see him once more. The alien grabs Dutch by the throat and lifts him into the air. It recognizes that Dutch is a strong warrior and decides to fight him hand-to-hand instead of using weapons. The creature brutally beats Dutch, leaving him badly injured. As Dutch is being thrown around, he suddenly remembers that he placed a trap between two large rocks nearby. He crawls past the trap and hides behind a log. The creature slowly approaches him, just before stepping into the trap. The creature realizes something is wrong and avoids it by moving around from above, but Dutch had prepared another trap. He had suspended a massive log high in the air with a trigger mechanism near his feet. The alien stands directly beneath it while facing Dutch. At the perfect moment, Dutch kicks the trigger. The giant log swings down and crushes the alien creature. Dutch approaches carefully and sees that it is still alive. He picks up a large rock, preparing to smash its head, but the creature coughs up blood. Dutch realizes it is dying anyway, so he throws the rock aside. Then the alien presses several buttons on a device attached to its arm and begins laughing loudly. Dutch realizes the creature is about to self-destruct. He immediately starts running. Just 1 second before the explosion, Dutch dives behind a fallen tree for cover. Massive blast erupts, almost like a nuclear explosion. People flying overhead in a helicopter also witness the explosion. The helicopter lands, and the rescuers save Dutch. When Dutch boards the helicopter, he sees Anna inside. She survived to. And with that, the movie ends. Predator was released on June 12, 1987. The film had a budget of around $15 to $18 million and earned approximately $98 million worldwide, making it a major box office success.